But regardless, it's also really important for IGV. This is a team that would love to be able to put themselves in a position to get an upper bracket berth, and it's within the realm of possibilities, albeit a lot of strange things would have to happen for that to occur.
They need a 2-0.
Yeah.
They need 9 wins at least. They're currently sitting 7-7 in the middle of the pack.
And Infamous taking a long time to ban a few things out here. They were given an Earthshaker, and they're going to take it.
Night Stalker's in the pool. Oh wait, didn't IG Vitality Empire let IG Vitality have Night Stalker yesterday?
Yeah.
And they actually will not fall for taking the Night Stalker, which they weren't particularly good with, and we'll take the Kunkka instead.
All right.
Far safer for them. I think it's a better position for dogfights.
Now the Ancient Apparition comes out, the other big hero that's been in these group stages. Granted, there were a lot of weird things that we saw in the series that we were looking at yesterday. It was like Lich and Doom, and then Ancient Apparition was the answer to that. Do you think the hero's strong enough just on its own as well to be worthy of like the first round pick?
For some teams.
Yeah. It's sort of a weird one, like lacks a little bit of disable, can do a ton of damage in the lanes. Fortunately, it's not.
Because ult's always going to be useful,
right?
And if you don't want to reveal your cores because all you see is an Earthshaker, then it's okay. So Infamous go for the first phase Phantom Lancer. This hero has been a hot point of a debate as to whether the hero is garbage. What are these teams thinking? To that hero is passable. I've never heard anyone call this hero OP in this patch.
Yeah.
So I guess it only stretches so far. So if we find the median of all the opinions, he's still pretty garbage.
Okay.
I'll say the median of all the opinions is like, he's like 35th percentile.
All right.
No, maybe lower. Maybe like 30, a little bit lower than 35. Maybe like 30.
But he's also like, particular teams really like him. And I think that certain builds can fit well. The problem with first phase also is that there are a ton of counters to him, and that's really where the issues start to come up. So now IGV have 3 picks to deal with it. You did really like Rezo's build the other day where he went treads on it?
Hell yeah. Treads all the way. MP does bots, but that's MP. That dude's crazy. So there's a Timbersaw and Sven, which I think are the main 2. AM is also pretty good. I think I'm almost positive they play Timber if they want to go for it. Pretty good versus PL. So versus Shaker. Like, yeah, Shaker's a strength hero, but he has so much lockdown for Timber that it's actually a little bit problematic.
The classic from Tomato throughout the qualifiers was Queen of Pain as well in the mid lane that they would run together. They didn't run a lot of Benjaz Phantom Lancer from what I saw. So I'm really curious if they actually decide to stick it mid with Tomato or if they're going to give it to the safe lane. It's nice to be able to sort of dodge away from some of the ganks that could come from the Kunkka. He's a pretty survivable hero in a lot of ways.
Which one?
PL?
PL? Yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah, he's pretty good versus the Kunkka. There's also I've seen Axe kind of used as a counter for PL. Earthshaker is very good, but not available to them. I'm sure I could find some better. I think Core Leshrek's actually pretty good versus him too.
Oh.
But I only think LGD runs that.
Well, for now, IGV, they're going to go for the Classic.
This is what they put, like, I think one of the teams played versus Empire, and it was like, PL's pretty good versus both of these, Kunkka and Bat. So, I don't necessarily like their draft as of yet, especially when they respond with the first phase PL and you pick, like, normal heroes.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I wonder if IGV are just feeling like they can play a straight-up game against it and, you know, not too worried about the PL. But like you said, that does leave open a lot of opportunities.
You have to be worried about the PL, man.
Yeah.
Can't just let him do his thing. He's not as game-changing as an AM, but he makes the late game mid to late game very hard.
I kind of do see what you're talking about, because I remember in that game, like, it was so hard for any of the heroes to deal with resolution. Now they're actually going to take an Oracle with this as well.
It's pretty good versus AA and Bat, so I think it's fine. It's good.
Okay. Definitely feels a little bit strange.
It's good versus Kunkka too. There's no physical damage, so Fate's Edict is, hey, I'm invulnerable, which is great.
Yeah.
Better than BKB. Not better than BKB. BKB, but
I mean, lower cooldown than BKB, right? It's only like 2.5 seconds downtime or whatever.
yeah.
The real question is, do you max that after Purifying Flames? Do you max it before Purifying Flames?
I think having the purge is really useful. You get Dispel Cold Feet, Napalm stacks. So I think 414 is the standard. I don't know, maybe you could do a mix, like 224 or something like that.
Yeah.
234, I don't know.
The cooldown used a little bit lower as well. Well, third pick's already out now. Infamous with a little bit of a slightly unorthodox, and IGV just sticking with their stock and standard approach to the draft. We'll see if they switch it up now. They're going to be the ones to take the Queen of Pain. Not normally the type of hero you'd see Sakata on.
This is not looking good for IG Vitality. Like, Phantom Lancer is a good matchup versus Quap, good matchup for... It's pretty much good versus all of their heroes. And then Weaver is also pretty good versus most of their heroes. I would say Kunkka gives Weaver a little bit of struggle, but I don't know. I don't like these core-on-core matchups
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah.
at all.
It does definitely feel like IGV are going to need something big out of Paparazzi at the end. Maybe they play like, 4 protect 1 and these 4 run around and do stuff around the map, and then he like takes the Morph lane again. There aren't any silences in the field right now. Do you like that idea, or?
Too slow, I think.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good versus PL, making an image of himself. Ban out the LC. Seeing, what, LC plus Oracle, the duo that can protect each other versus Bat.
Right.
It's okay. Weaver can also build Ags, but not that great if you don't have Drow on your team. Don't think they're going to pick Drow. PL already on their side. Anti-Mage, one of the... What? They banned out both of the PL counters in the one position rule. So, like, Infamous know what's good against PL, and IG Vitality could have easily picked either of these heroes, but they're going to go for a more 5-man lineup. This 5-man is very, very strong coming out from IG Vitality, so Infamous definitely needs some teamfight to match.
Oh, now it's going to be the last pick, Ember Spirit. I believe Matthew is the one that plays it for them here with Excel on the Oracle.
Ember Spirit. Ember Spirit's also an okay counter. Alchemist.
Whoa.
Woo!
Ah, Paparazzi safe lane Alk. What do you think? I mean, you talked about PL counters. This is not one that I traditionally think of, but he is a big tanky bruiser. He can probably survive through a lot of the damage that Tomato's going to throw out.
Yeah, Alchemist changes the game completely. Last pick Alchemist, and they have AA on their side, and they don't have like huge burst on Infamous. Everything is, I guess, only Echo Slim is really bursty. Phantom Lancer and Weaver don't add that like upfront burst that like Qual provides. I don't know. Alchemist with Kunkka, pretty common pairing too. You don't die and you can just regen all the boat damage off. Alchemist, that hero is still a big question mark for me. I think it's in the same boat as like PL, as some heroes think that hero is amazing, some heroes think that hero is unplayable. His median's probably a little bit higher than Phantom Lancer though. His median's probably like 40-45 percentile.
Okay. And I would say that IGV is probably the team that most people would say is a stronger one coming into this as well. Infamous has shown up and provided like really good games, but
I think Infamous is better, personally.
really,
Yeah, but that's just opinion.
fair enough. All right, well, game number 1, our second series of the day, Infamous versus IGV. We're going into this, so you're saying that you think, are you believing more in the Alchemist, or the rest of the pieces around that hero
I don't
strong
actually
enough?
know how Alchemist will work here, whether it'll be extremely good or extremely poor. My sample size for this hero post-Alch nerf is very small. I haven't seen it very many times at all. The one time that I casted it this tournament, I think it's been picked a couple times. One was a random by Newbee, just scratched that out of the books, and then one time was an offensive tri-lane by LGD, and they had some minus armor to couple with it, so he could actually get some use out of his stun.
Right.
But this game, they're just gonna play him like a typical safe lane farmer. I don't know. I don't have high hopes for the Alchemist. but I do think it's better than the majority of the cores that they could have picked. And if their lineup is going to be based around this Alchemist, I can see why they went for these mass 4 teamfight heroes that can kind of weather the storm until Alchemist gets nice and completes his MOR build. Is it going to be a Manta Octarine Radiance, though?
That's a good question. We've seen the other one, which was like, I think, Shadowblade. I remember back in the day, people would do like Solar Crest and stuff like that as well on occasion. For
You might want
builds.
Mjolnir versus the Phantom Lancer.
Oh, yeah.
But pretty bad because you usually just get purged off. So maybe like a 5th or 6th item for him.
Infamous, they're going to walk forward and try and contest this bounty rune. Always a good decision when you're facing off against an Alkin. They are just going to run right into Super, have the purge off as well for the long duration route. They might just be able to find a kill. In the meantime, though, Paparazzi, he doesn't care. He's trying to go over there and secure himself a rune. Unfortunately, Excel was able to steal that from him. So no rune. First blood going to Matthew. All looking quite good for Infamous.
Yep. Aggro versus Alk. One of the problems is his laning phase is just super hot garbage. Like steaming pile of waste. He is the personification of the poop emoji if you don't have any sort of way to back him up. And Alk AA is an awful lane, and Alchemist is also skilled up Grievous Greed first. So this is, I don't know what's more stinky than that poop emoji. But that's him right now.
That's the Alchemist. That's what it is. Man,
Golden poop.
Golden poop. I mean, he's not going to be getting that much gold if they keep this up as well. They do have Ancient Apparition here, but the potential to hit damage out with Chilling Touch or anything just seems very unlikely. I mean, do you even start thinking about rotating the Conqueror? But is Dogfights even do enough?
You just dodge lanes, dude. Just get out of there. Just go versus the Weaver. You just have two on one down there, or you can just have 0 CS. Or actually just 2 CS, so maybe get some CS. He doesn't have Quelling Blade. He does have a Mango. I guess he's going for the Soul Ring. But I don't know. I don't like his chances up here.
I guess as long as he can get out Acid Spray, maybe there's a potential for some, but it also will push the lane for sure. And now they're rolling. They got him caught a little bit off the mark from Matthew. In some trouble, but the root's going to come out. Chilling Touch to turn. Will it be enough? It looks like the answer is no. And in the meantime, Super also in trouble. They're manning up against him as well. They do have a roll forward in another second here. They block off with the fissure. Super in trouble and most likely going to fall. They get the stun out as well. Dogfights wanting to do anything at all, and they're going to TP away. Do they even find a kill on the Earth Spirit? No! Talk about hot garbage.
Steaming hot garbage. The hero is just... I think he's probably one of the worst safe laners if contested. And you don't have... Like, I really did like the Venge that they picked with it, but yeah, this tri-lane is just... Actually, it was just a dual lane. With the tri-lane, I think it's fine. It's like passive.
Yeah.
If we have to talk about percentile, it's like 15th percentile in lane. Actually, that's not passing. That's not a passing score in any school metric.
That's a pretty bad one, actually. Oh, and no, they actually didn't get the full pull off, so a couple creeps are going to escape. It's going to be sort of a wave and a half pushing in on top of the Acid Spray, so to make sure they get that if they want to keep the equilibrium in their favor, which they certainly are going to need to.
At least they're able to pull a little bit. Yeah, that's nice. The most garbage lane I've ever faced, I would rate at the worst 0 percentile, just the bottom, was a Meepo Wisp dual lane. Of all my days of Dota, it was the worst. Paparazzi.
They even stole the creep from him with that fissure.
His CS is actually the highest in the game, so that's pretty decent, I suppose.
Yeah.
If they can feed him bounty runes, this lane could go okay. But he lost his clarity. He's been able to dodge, I believe, 2 boulders already. It's pretty good for him.
And what about these other lanes? It's been Super Benjez down here bottom. He's also very high CS at the moment, able to
Easy lane.
beat out the Weaver or Batrider a little bit. Dogfights is in a little bit of trouble again. The stun comes through from Matthew. He will get the cold feet proc. A really nice totem. Was able to find a catch there as well and get the stun onto 3 of them. Seeing if they can take down Super as well. The damage coming through. Excel trying to dive for this Purifying Flames. Going to connect. Going to get the kill. But it comes at the cost. Paparazzi gets a kill. And Matthew might also be in trouble. He does have a roll in 4, and Dogfight's looking but not finding. He is going to roll into him now, and Matthew just barely able to make his escape.
Paparazzi can maybe kill him with a spray.
Let's see if he can do it. Torrent, a little bit off the mark, needs to drop down another stone and go for a boulder smash. It's damaging him over time, 9 HP. They purge it off, trying to run, but it was not enough. They found the kill.
Whew. That purge came out a little bit too late. Actually, does Cold Feet tick instantly? I think it takes it instantly. I'm not positive. I need to double check that.
Okay.
I think he like thought he could purge it off because it doesn't do anything with his acid spray.
Yeah.
Yeah, it starts immediately in cast, so I don't think he was able to survive there. Nice try though.
I mean, they did end up finding some kills, but it wasn't onto Paparazzi, and he's now been able to get 2 assists on top of a kill of his own.
He did get some Grievous Greed. Kills. Okay, how's the other lane going? Quap versus PL. Looks like PL's actually not owning, but still even. Weaver's owning Bat.
They're going to go up top again. Infamous just keep on trying to force this a little bit. Although Quinteca almost going to be able to take the courier down. They do manage to get it. The Perch comes out yet again. Earthshaker in trouble. The stun comes through onto 2, but showing the strength of the Kunkka AA.
Nice. They're finally getting some stuns. So now they have enough lockdown to actually lock people down in full speed. Yeah. Matthew pretty close to dying there.
By the skin of his teeth, he gets away from that one. Does look like Infamous. They want to come back up, and well, a big creep wave moving in now. They tried to get the pull off, not quite going to be there. Do you need to switch up your angle of attack from Infamous now? Like, it's starting to feel like they're getting less than IGB are out of these fights. Another roll. Quinteca, he's going to get caught by the Torrent. They have the cold feet on him as well. Paparazzi, though, in trouble, and looks like he might just die getting blocked off. They find the kill. And Quinteca able to make his escape as well before he goes down.
They just need to pressure him. Slow down his Radiance timing to like 20 minutes plus. They're on a pretty good path to do that. And it looks like Super might die here. Not sure if they have enough burst. Nice kick away. Wow.
Now always on the ball, and Excel, he's going to take some damage, but should not be in too much of a issue. They do not have a shrine to work with since they've already used it.
That's sad. That would have been a great shrine to use. Alchemist's almost 6 now, so you mentioned should they change their plan of attack? I think it's about time to do so because of this level 6 timing that just makes it really difficult. Like Alchemist can actually start running at people and right-clicking them, and they don't have that much armor in that lane.
Maybe even thinking about like a just casual Bassi for somebody, but who do you really pick that up on? It'd have to be like into a Vlad's or something, which doesn't sound that appetizing.
They already have one on Weaver. I would say maybe I'd throw the Weaver up there and then put the Shaker on bottom, so Shaker can actually get some farm, because Shaker almost has Soul Ring, which is pretty decent, but I don't think he can really pressure the Alch anymore. And he's getting off the stack. King Tekka, go!
Let's get over there. You want to kill off these guys before he can summon more creeps as well, but well, it's not going to end up happening. He does pull the creeps back past him, and
he missed out on so much XP. And they missed the D-board.
Well, they're actually going to completely switch things up. So they're going to stick Matthew mid, and realizing that the 6 is there for Paparazzi, they don't want to contest. They instead just want to get levels, and with Tomato heading off to the jungle. Do you like this decision?
Yeah, they need levels. Aggro try. Big downside, you can't pull safely, and your supports are going to be under leveled, so they're already trying to switch things up. They want level 6 on the Oracle to deal with the Bat. They want level 6 on Earth Spirit, so they have stronger team fight. And again, now that Alchemist is 6+, he's a much more difficult kill, and your early game is pretty much done in this lane. Your laning phase in top is not really a lane anymore.
Well, they have gotten out fairly even. Infamous about 1,000 gold ahead, and it's also been Tomato with a ton of farm mid lane against Okada, and he might actually just end up going down. The stun comes with the silence follow, and Matthew making it happen with that Invis rune.
That was a kill that likely could have happened without the Invis rune, but with the Invis rune, super easy. Cicada. It's really tough dealing with PL because PL, like, you don't know when a gank is coming because he's going to run at you and he's going to constantly cast Spirit Lance on you anyway. So he had just no idea that the gank was coming. So now they're going to rotate some people up to top, but not really enough to threaten out.
I was wondering, they're still going to go maybe try and find some support kills here or something along that vein. It is only 30 seconds until they would have had the tome and maybe could have gotten a magnetized out on top of this, but they're going to run into Paparazzi. A good bit of damage coming out. The regen, though, is going to be there, and they weren't able to get the silence off on time, so Paparazzi self-stun. Can they get into range? Kinteka wanted to go in for the Echo Slam. They could still do it. They X him back in just a second, looking for that opening, the possibility. A lot of damage. Super is going to go down there, and Paparazzi, his ulti is starting to wear off soon. They find the kill nonetheless. Cicada is going to find the kill in the Oracle in return, but it's a hell of a lot to lose as Kinteka just saunters on out of there.
That was a very slow silence from Earth Spirit. He should have been able to... They were smoked, so they have the element of surprise, and I think they saw him before the Alchemist saw him, and he wasn't able to get the silence off, and him getting Chemical Rage off made that fight last way longer than it should have. He would have died, I think, as soon as the Fissure came out, if he had that silence up. But still, they made the best of a bad situation and still got the kill on the Alchemist, which is pretty big for them. Also, IG Vitality, because they got aggro tried, haven't been able to Ancient stack at all. So Paparazzi has to deal with a solitary Golem stack at sad times.
And you look across the net worth tabs now, it's Phantom Lancer at the level 10 point, does have that attack speed talent instead of the lance damage, and is going for the Boots of Travel. So a little bit less fight oriented.
Oh, my man, dude. Attack speed.
You like that?
Dude, attack speed, my opinion, is always better.
Oh, the rolling silence from Matthew. Didn't follow up with the stun, though.
Yeah, it's,
he didn't have a stone for it.
Yeah, that sucks. Well, the thing is, if you pull, you should have a stone to kick. So, I didn't see exactly what happened there.
I think he just stepped a little bit too far away from it. But yeah, it's tough.
He's no Tims.
Hero's still pretty good, though. I mean, showing that even not played to absolute perfection, able to get a ton done in the early game.
Yeah. Yep. He's been at the right place at the right time. I would say that's more so than anything else. What's been the cause for his success. Oh, I have Matthews muted.
You really?
Yeah, I do. I remember casting like one of the South American games. It was like I had 5 players muted of the 10. I'm fairly selective with my muting too. Sometimes people are just like super annoying and they just like talk too much, which I mute them. But for the most part, I only save them for super unpleasant players, right? Or people who just throw and feed intentionally.
Well, I'm sure nothing like that happened. Maybe it was just an accident. Positive.
No, they're notorious for being bad man. Lyrical.
That's fair enough. Well, Paparazzi retreating again to the jungle, as we were talking about earlier. He's going to have that armlet brought out to him now, so one of those items that allow him to catch back up again. Has there been any changes to Alk's talents? I want to see if he does anything funky this time around.
I think one of them got minorly buffed, maybe like unstable concoction damage. But Paparazzi,
oh, and the ulti is just about to wear off. Actually, it's at about a third duration still left over, and Dogfight's coming in as well. He does have his level 6. The boat that could come through would be quite large indeed if they manage to find it. There's the lift up. Damage being dealt. Sonic Wave as well, turning it. It only killed off Matthew, and Kinteka gets that blink out revealed in a big old way.
oh my god, he has blink already? Holy crap, they're in bad spots.
6-2-5 on this Earthshaker. He has had a fabulous game. Blinks forward, finds that Kunkka. He can taunt all he wants, but it's a triple kill for Kinteka, and Infamous are happy about it.
Brutal, savage.
That was also a super slow TP reaction. Alchemist he spotted out the enemies pretty much at the bounty rune, and then by the time he was at this T1 tower, no heroes had TP in. They hadn't even started their TPs. And then Quap, as soon as he like rounds in vision of the T1 tower, maybe like 800, 900 range away, then Quap TPs in, and then a few other people TP in. But that was just way too late to save their Alchemist. I think they were maybe unsure about like how long he left on his Chemical Rage, and if he doesn't have it on, he's just dead, even if they do TP in. So I don't think that was a particularly easy situation for them to read.
Yeah.
But if you're paparazzi, you just yell at your team. Take me in, save me, ping, 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 ping.
Well, and Infamous just making the right rotations too. That's a big part of it. Like understanding when their timing was, that Queen Tekka was just finishing up his Blink Dagger right there. This is looking quite good for them as rotation into the jungle. Tomato is left alone. Do they realize which one it is? The doppelganger away. He's able to make the escape. They don't know which one is the real Tomato. Oh, no. GB in a little bit of an awkward spot now, and if Matthew can catch up to them, as well as that Earthshaker.
How did he see the Tor? Maybe he just saw the bat. I'm not sure.
Well, they have found a Kunkka now, and that is going to be at least a slight consolation prize. IGV not in the position they would love to be, and in fact, they might just be able to find more off of this. Do IGV really want to fight at this point in time? Sakata's rolling away, and Super barely able to make his TP finish. IGV just do not look on the same page at all.
GG Bat Blink reveal.
GG what reveal?
Bat Blink.
Oh, okay.
Normally, Bat Blink smoke guaranteed kill, but they went for the high risk, high reward play, going for the PL. PL and Weaver are the hardest to catch. I would say Weaver's even easier to catch because you can just dust him, kill him in a lasso.
Oh,
they're getting
silence, the stun. They're just keeping him back, and Dogfights and Super on the wrong side. That being said, they have the False Promise. That's keeping alive that Earthshaker for the moment. The Ice Path is going to be able to catch at least onto the Oracle. Don't know if it's going to be enough damage with the Sonic Wave. It certainly will. Now Benjaz, they're thinking about going. They've got this ward in the area, but now being dewarded, they shouldn't have the same level of comfort.
Still, the PL hasn't really been able to do anything in the fights. He went for a BOT build and still doesn't have Diffusal, nor does he have Scepter, so he's still going to be quite a bit of ways from being able to really deal any damage in the team fights. This Scepter is going to be pretty annoying for them. Alchemist gets solo killed by Shaker. Nice Observer Ward up there. So Radiant's Recipe was bought, but he's still a little bit away.
Yeah, and Earthshaker is actually already has the Shadow Amulet ready, and
yeah, he is way too far. Oh my god, Earthshaker. PL has been free farming for like the entire game. He has 128 CS, and Earthshaker's really close to a net worth. And he has not that much CS, but still pretty high.
King Tekka at TI. He's making it happen.
Hey, you go, Earthshaker.
So 16 minutes in, 16 kills to 7. And a 4,000 net worth lead, but more importantly, Roshan's starting to go down, and no great way for IG Vitality to come and try and contest this. This is, again, one of those games where they really need to win it if they want to have a shot at that upper bracket. That would be disastrous, and now, the Aegis on Tomato.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Debating whether or not the PL is actually going to make use of this Aegis. Tomato's generally the highest value player on their team, highest net worth and most important in case he actually dies. But this game, I still think he's going to be farming for the next few minutes.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to fuse. So I guess he can just run in with Phantom Rush and start right-clicking people, and then he's probably going to die if he plays it that way. So I guess it allows him to play it in a different way, which is good.
Oh no, Paparazzi. They're going to hit him here. That's going to be the fissure. They connect. Matthew silence, but with the rotation in and the armlet there as well, he got it onto 2. Matthew's just going to run away. Does reveal the Shadow Blade, but now Tomato's showing up like they want to fight this. He is fighting against Super, dealing a hell of a lot of damage. The Torrent Boat actually doesn't connect onto the real PL. Oh, how unlucky. And now Paparazzi in more trouble, getting mana burn. Everything is going wrong for IGV as Infamous just hitting hard, hitting fast, and taking the kills.
Yep, now that he has Diffusal, things are looking even worse for Alk, who still does not have Radiance. Yuck. Okay, he's not going to Scepter. Nice. I personally understand. or the Spirit Lights talent. But in July, also going to die.
Tomato might end up going down himself. Look at him. Is he going to die to that? All right, that's just the Aegis at least, but...
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
In a team fight, he can get saved by Oracle.
Well, 19 to 8, and Sakata doesn't live in his own jungle anymore. He's placing down some wards and trying to just keep whatever he can for his team. I mean, what do you do at this point if you're IGV? Like, it feels as if they've tried to just give him the safest farm possible.
Once he gets Radiance, things will go a lot smoother for them. Relative to what's going on now.
Okay.
Not smooth in the absolute sense, but smoother.
All right. I guess we'll just have to watch and wait. Do you think about going for like a smoke gank with the other 4 heroes, or is that too big of a concern?
When you get Radiance.
Okay.
That are so weak right now relative to Infamous. If they can get the Oracle, maybe? Like if they can lasso the Oracle and blow them up, and then get a good boat on 4 or 5 of the heroes that are going to run in, I think they can win the fight. But I think they need the Radiance for the extra damage, because now they have damage issues. Queen of Pain's not had a particularly good game. 2 deaths. Alchemist has had a very poor game. Okay, he had a bounty rune, so there he goes. And Radiance. That's very slow by Alchemist standards, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, that's like okay by
It's like
other heroes.
probably like 10th, 15th percentile, I would say. Because normally he has, I would say a good timing is like 12 minutes. Maybe, I think I've seen some 12-minute armlet radiances, but he also had to go for treads, so I guess that adds a little bit towards net worth. But here they go, high ground push. They are not sure if Alchemist has radiance right now. They're pretty sure he doesn't have it, but he has been missing off the jungle missing off the map for a pretty long time. And, just
yeah, Queen Tech, I was like, where's Earthshaker going? I looked down there and Quap is just dead.
PL's really bad at hitting high ground. And they're going to have to rely on Benjaz for the majority of it. But Benjaz does not have Aegis, nor does he even have the Lincolns. So this is a pretty dicey play from them. And they already got what they wanted. They have IG Vitality back in their base, they have Quap dead, and they know that Alchemist has Radiance now, so probably not the best time for them to push as soon as he hits that.
Well, IGB also realizing they can't just stay in their base, they've got to go out and make something happen, so they are going to smoke out within July. Already using the Firefly though, this has kind of a low chance of success, I feel like, unless it's a pretty big misplay. You can see Infamous, they're scanning over, or rather Dire is scanning to see if they'll find him. Tomato? They're gonna run into him. Injuly spots him, they're able to catch onto that PL and immediately gonna be brought down the ice path. This is actually not quite gonna connect there and he's able to just jump away. Oh, that is not supposed to happen.
Awkward.
Real awkward, and they spot out Paparazzi, but they can't really go on with Benjaz. Kinda doesn't matter.
It's a hard gank to pull off. They have to blink lasso into Torrent, Cold Feet, and then Boat. But if you mess up any of those, he'll be able to doppelganger out.
Right.
Or if Earthshaker's there, he can also doppelganger out. Or if Oracle's there. But they did have a pretty good observer ward up there, so it was a good move. And they're just creating space for Alk to finally catch up in net worth. He's barely number 1.
Barely. Not for too much longer, though, as it looks like they're going to be going forward. Maybe a turnaround if they could kill off that Earthshaker. That's a hell of a way to start it. The 2-person stun, though. Magnetize out as well. It's not enough damage.
That's a big, that's a monster kill streak. Super gets 900 gold for that.
Super hasn't had that much gold in the past couple games. Oh my god. Would have loved to get it on your Alchemist, but
I think it's actually more important than supports. Because
Really?
Alchemist just farms like 800 gold to him is like it's like one group of creep camps. Whereas Ancient Apparition, 900, he had 1600 gold before, so he increases net worth by like more than 50% by getting that one kill. Like relative to how much you can actually farm, I think it's way better. Because Al can just get bounty runes. That's fine. He's meant to be able to get huge amounts of gold.
Have found another. Oracle is going to drop at the start of this fight. PL immediately going to be pushing through the top lane. You know, there have been a lot of these matches where teams have looked like they were in really dire straits and then were able to come back afterwards off the back of solid play. Do you feel like that's going to be the case in this one for IGV? Oh, well, speaking of which, there actually might be a pretty quick kill there. My god, King Tekka is just a monster. And now Super Benja shows up. He's going to chase down In July. And
In July has gem. Oh,
this
no.
is disaster all over the place. That being said, the rest of IGV is here. Are they really going to be able to just 2v4? Sonic Wave comes out. They're kiting and controlling that Earthshaker.
Where's their team? Hello?
Oh, Tomato ended up TPing top earlier, but didn't
He has
bots.
He has bots. Oracle also wasn't there. They could have used the false promise on the Earthshaker right there, but some miscommunication there. I will say Infamous teamwork is not particularly great. I think their 3 cores are excellent players and probably better than the counterparts on IG Vitality, but I think their support core is way weaker. A lot of misspells and just generally in this mid game, like, where were they for that fight? They're supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Where else are they gonna be? Earth Spirit did finally farm his heal, so that's probably the answer to the last question. Oracle, he's had Aetherlands for a while now. But if they could have gotten that gem, woof, that has been glorious. And
well,
Batrider dies, but he didn't have the gem on him. Where was the gem? Wait, did they
pick it up?
I don't know what happened to the gem.
Let's take a look.
Oh, is it on the courier? Okay, it's on the courier.
Probably for the best there, keeping it off of In July for a little while.
Wait, that was... Oh, that was Oracle's gem that he gave to the ES that they gave up when they killed the Alk. Oh no, that's even worse. It's not even Infamous's, or that's not even IGV's gem.
All right. Yeah, it's not the best. Well, Queen Tekka is here. They also have Matthew in the area. Do they spot him out? Yeah, they get a quick view of the Earth Spirit. And he's going to roll forward, although they're going to have a lot of time to respond to this. There's also the Eul Scepter lift up at the same time. The Ice Blast goes out, and Matthew going to be forced to run away. Benjaz shows up. Paparazzi gets the self-stun. Queen Tekka looking for that opening. He does have Echo Slam in 1 more second. Does he want to go for it? He jumps forward, finds Dogfight, doesn't fully commit it as of yet, but the boat did go out, able to connect onto one, but Benjaz, he finds that kill onto the Alk. Through it all, Sakata now lifted up, going to get stunned as he comes through the other side. Echo Slam if they need it, but it's all gravy right now for Infamous. They are dominating IGV.
Oh god. Paparazzi also used his BKB and died.
Oh lord. Alright, In July in some trouble, rooted and killed. And still no Echo Slam needed. They do find an Ice Blast onto King Tekka, but to what end? This is going to be a tier 3 tower dropping, no buyback. 26 minutes in, Infamous are looking spectacular.
How to deal with PL. Some of these teams have no idea how to draft against the PL. It's just very strange to me. I mean, the hero is weird, but not that strange. But maybe they went into the games like, hey, we want to run an Alchemy strat and didn't really care about what the opponents picked. I would venture to say that's probably more so the case.
Yeah.
Also, Infamous did have a stroke of genius with the offensive try to just constantly destroy the Alchemists. They also gave a lot of the kills to Earthshaker, I think unintentionally. Usually Oracle gets all the kills in the lane because of Purifying Flames, but King Tekka was able to get a lot of kills, and that early blink, I think, just completely blew IT Vitality out of the water.
It felt like it was much more the Earthshaker that was like the game changer. Like Tomato could have almost been any other hero that traded in his lane.
But right now, though, it looks good for him. Like, you'd rather have PL over a lot of other heroes. He did dodge a couple of those ganks, though, with the Batrider. So, like, I think having your cores die, like, if they had a successful Smoke Lasso on the PL, maybe they could have gotten back into the game. Radiant has you scan, hits red, and they are not scared because it was too late.
Tomato gets the Aegis, Benjaz gets the cheese. They even got Bash from Roche, but they don't give a hoot. They are pushing for more. 15,000 net worth lead and right around 18,000 experience. IGV grasping at straws at this point.
Yeah, PL can just run up there. I think IG Vitality were out of silver, so couldn't even put a Roche play. DD Arcane Rune Phantom Lancer.
Yeah. That's a tough one. And we do also have, for Earthshaker, the 40+ echo damage. They are not going to be able to live long on IG Vitality's side. This just looks like it's going to be a slaughter. the highest proportion.
Yeah, it's gonna look really bad. If Alchemist gets his BKB off right before the Echo, it could go instantly. And it's not that unheard of. He should probably just fissure into Echo. But sometimes you see a good Echo, you don't want to wait for the fissure. So let's see how this plays out.
Okay, pressuring high ground. They're going to send in those illusions. Tomato is going to be the one that walks up front and center and tries to hit it. Of course, Acid Spray's so hard to push high ground against, but with the illusion spam, continue to make this happen pretty effectively, I would say. And the tower starting to take the damage. In July, looking for an opening. Benjaz does have the Lincoln Spear, so it's hard to make it work. And Cold Feet able to take it off. X marks the spot onto Tomato, but he's not going to take any magical damage. Fate's Edict keeping him alive. The roll off to the side, though, they've caught themselves in July, and that's going to be a quick and clean kill. They can't do it. That is not the type of wraparound that you need to make, and IGV still grasping at straws. Infamous continuing to hit away at this tower, and IGV just do not have an answer. They keep on just getting ran at, and Sakata here, he's getting all of his mana drained. It's a good bit of damage. Well, not the dirtiest one in the world. And Paparazzi actually able to get the initiation. They take down the Oracle. Not a bad start. Looking for more, though. Can they do it? Benjaz up there as well. Matthew ends up accidentally kicking, it looks like, one of the Queen of Pain, so she's still going to be back there. Tomato is going to end up expiring on that Aegis. Matthew Yule's Scepter trying to keep himself alive, but they're still going to be able to get the X back. He kicks Paparazzi away. Still off to the side, Tomato trying to bring down Sakata. The Shrine, is it going to be enough to keep him alive? It looks like the answer is yes. Just barely left alive on 100 HP, but I don't know if it's going to end up mattering. The bottom lane of Barracks is still down. They catch the X and everything else onto King Tekka, and he is also going to die. But they only have one lane of Barracks left.
Great engagement by Paparazzi right there. Normally I think the Oracle showed because the Bat Rider was dead, and he's like, oh, okay, yeah, there's no problem, right? And then he gets bursted down almost immediately at the start of the fight due to Alchemist popping his BKB and blinking in. So that was pretty good for them. They had to blow all their shrines, but totally worth it to have a chance to come back in this game.
And this is the same team that played the 120-minute game just yesterday against Empire, and were able to last out that whole distance.
Their high ground is awful. After you lose your first ranks, I think Bat Rider loses a lot of value because you can approach from multiple angles. Okay. Also, they've been super prepared for him, like looping around in the trees. And yeah, it's true that Alchemist doesn't get hurt as much as other heroes when you get the super creeps in the lane, but
I mean, if you think about it, there are a lot of good Ags upgrades to give away if it goes to like super late, but it feels unlikely that they're going to be able to hold out for that long. Like the other day, they had great abilities to like push out creep waves and stuff.
Yeah, this game is way different in that regard. They're not. They're supposed to have the golden advantage the entire game. It's not meant to. They're like maybe a little bit rough before the Radiance, but after the Radiance, their lineups ideally supposed to be smooth sailing, and he doesn't have the core items that he needs to farm. He doesn't have Manta. He doesn't have
well, Echo Slam comes out, and they actually Glimmer Cape to get him away! Oh, King Tekka, he wanted glory, but he's just going to fall instead, most likely. Although the stun comes through, able to hit onto 2, and that's going to be that already dead Kunkka. He couldn't kill him off in the duration of the lasso. Excel came in to save his life, but he is eventually going to die nonetheless. Ice Blast goes out as well. They kill off Super Benjaz. Infamous. A lot of questions need to be answered as they try and formulate why they actually want to break high ground, because that was certainly not the way to do it.
Cocky plays from course.
Yeah, that was odd. He did have his BKB that he used in that fight too, but a 2,300 gold swing?
Yeah, there's. It's okay.
Yules is the Quap, able to purge off the Orchid. Sakata's still looking for more, doesn't quite find it though. Good blink away. Well, this is good. It gives Infamous a little bit of time to reevaluate life choices, you know, figure out what they need to do in the next one. For them, like, obviously that's not the way that you want to take the fight, but what is like that path to winning the game? Do you need to try and like find a pick off as somebody?
There's so many things they could do. They can wait for Aegis and cheese. They could smoke in through top, they can smoke in through bottom, they can slow siege with like Solar, Crest, and heals. They can look for solo pickoffs with Earthshaker on the side lanes. There are so many things they can do right now.
Oh no, Matthew, this is the gem. That's not one of the things that they want to do. But it happened. Now only a 9,000 net worth lead, where it was once shooting towards 20,000. I mean, you know, normally you say that they're not going to get picked off over and over again, but that's starting to happen. When's the point where you really start to feel this as Infamous?
If they push with next Aegis and get wiped,
Okay.
then I would start to be scared. But right now, it's just, yeah, a little bit feed here and there. It's not looking good for them, but Alchemist has Maelstrom too, so he has kind of prepared to deal with this PL. PL, I believe, has Butterfly completed. Not quite yet. Oh, yeah, yeah, he's Butterfly completed.
Okay. Only 1,700 HP on this guy. Quap did finish off her BKB.
Ooh, they're gonna go for a smoke before the Aegis. Can they kill Paparazzi before he pops his BKB? Seems rather unlikely, but possible.
Dogfights is actually out front as well. Oh god, who are they? Are they really gonna go on this? Quinteka, he's looking for an opening. He echoes nothing! Oh buddy, that's not the play in July. Thought about going in there. Oh man.
It's tough because even if he BKBs and gets that off, they can still lasso him, and then Alchemist can pop his BKB. So, oh, Alchemist, a tight pickle.
The supports right now from IGV really winning them the games with the defensive items and
yeah,
making it work. Speaking of which, another Glimmer Cape on the way for Super, and well, he's locked and loaded, ready for a long one. He's got the 60 GPM talent going.
Yeah, these Glimmers have been pretty useful for them. I believe they lost a gem in the last engagement, a second gem lost.
Dual Scepter, Kunkka. He'll be brought back in just a second with the X. And Paparazzi will be forced to throw this stun here. And himself some nice little gold there from all of the illusions. Continues the farm up. Do you think it's worth it to go for, like, if he does start pulling Ags at some point, is it Ancient Apparitions that goes to first?
Maybe Bat.
Okay.
Kunkka is last.
Okay, that's for sure.
Or Quap. I think Kunkka's last. Ancient Apparitions is pretty good. I would say Bat then AA. Maybe AA then Bat. I don't know. One of those two first, depending on how the game goes. It's still too early to decide. He still needs a little bit from Mjolnir, and then he needs like 6,000 more gold to have Scepter and buyback.
I really do like Quaps as well, at least for the cooldown. But
Yeah, the fights happen so infrequently though. I think early in the game it's great, but
Yeah.
this late into the game, where you're seeing a fight like once every Echo Slam cooldown, you might as well have had it at the original cooldown anyways.
Well, speaking of Echo Slam cooldown, Quinteka been wanting to use that spell on cooldown, and he's walking forward. Fissure opens up, Echo Slam as well. No chance for a BKB, although Quinteka used one. And now they might be able to force the buyback from the Alchemist.
Yeah, very hard to split push out all three lanes for Shaker. Shaker is one of the best heroes at dealing with split push because his burst is so fast and he's good against BKB. Ooh.
Alk buys back. They've caught one at least. This is Matthew in some trouble. The stun is not going to be able to come out as of yet. They throw it onto the illusions instead. Matthew is gone, and so is the rest of Infamous. They are backing out.
That is a value Earth Spirit that's right there. Value.
That's what you love to see. Well, they actually are in the area still. Quinteka, he's tempting fate. He wants to go for these. And Super certainly in trouble. In July also, they popped the BKB in time, but he is gone in an instant. Just got blown the hell up. Now Dogfights outside of the base as well. What is he doing here? He still gets out okay. But Infamous showing the net worth lead now and continuing to build it.
Kill out, game over. Pretty unreliable without Echo though.
They got to work it off on the Weaver. He'll just be Fate's Edict to stay alive. Yeah, do you wait now for the Echo Slam? Well, I guess not if you're Tomato. He's just not afraid. but the blink forward, tried to dodge that one away, doesn't happen yet. Quinteka is still there, looking for that opening. BKB did not get popped by Paparazzi, and he instead is dead. And now this should be the GG coming out. IGV, it looked like it could have been something, but it was never meant to happen.
Not much more to say about that game. We covered most of the grounds for that. IG Vitality probably should look up some counters in PL real fast, and or just ban it out in the first phase. I think either is important. I don't know. I think with the first phase A, they're like, maybe we sneak an Alk in here. Maybe we can. But they didn't work out.
It was a kind of cool strat to see, and I always love seeing a little bit of Alchemist in the games, particularly when he loses. Nothing against IGV, but that hero is